Now, I just actually finished the last episode of Velma, the special. This Halloween needs to be special. Halloween special. Sounds weird how to say it, but it's sort of how you're supposed to say it anyway. But this was, eh, that's the best way to describe it. It wasn't super terrible, improved. The comedy was a little better, but every time they do actually do a decent joke, they completely ruin it a couple of seconds ago, or they're trying to redo that joke again to make it funnier. The three set of rules of repeating three times to hit the joke stronger. That still kind of doesn't work of this version of Scooby Doo. But besides that, it was kind of interesting because it did three things that I was sort of surprised. One, they attempted to figure out how to bring Velma back from the dead. Two, they trying to figure out this sort of mystery about the Black Knight, who is basically the most iconic monster of Scooby-Doo, or the second kind, because he usually the top three. And the third one is sort of the cliffhanger they left off, that you're just wondering why. But other than that, I will explaining more deeper and breaking down the story of the final episode. My name is Rachel. I like to talk about animation, not just animation reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, you like how it's going, like to help my channel, but like, comment, and subscribe. That's the only thing you do. If not, that's cool. If you do, thank you, because of you, I am getting close to my big goal of 2,000 subscribers. And yes, I'm getting close every single day. People put like, comment, and share. Thank you. I'm completely grateful if you do. If not, that's cool. Now let's break down the final episode to end this kind of hate franchise. Now let's get started with the video. Now the whole basically story starts to end this. It's basically the gang and Velma trying to understand the things they need to bring Velma back to life. And they realize they need the magic book. In fact, they use one of their friends' moms to help her to chant to bring her body back to her soul. But it doesn't work because it's not very that strong magic. The only type of magic they have is sort of very questionable magic. They tempted to tell her, do not use this book. There's a reason why she sort of donated to a library so she doesn't get tempted, because this magic will mess you up. But the only problem is, during this time, they find out there was sort of a new mystery about someone called the Black Knight. I said at the very beginning, the Black Knight is sort of the most iconic, or one of the most iconic Scooby-Doo villains in Scooby-Doo history. But this Black Knight is completely different from the original, because this Black Knight is basically a teenager who died being pushed by a cliff because he was sort of a peeping Tom who attempted to go in a sexy Halloween party but completely failed and also got caught. And this is the reason why they sort of kind of murder him. At least that's what the Ghost Knight thinks, because he attempted to explain it what actually did happen in that moment, because he attempted to clean his name to actually to figure out and also cross over the next life. But they also are more add-ons, because the kids of the gang actually got the book of to help them to get her body back, or at least a certain version of it. During this time, they are trying to figure out, okay, how to bring Velma and solve the case. But on top of all this, to bring Velma back, each one of them has to face their fears, where they sort of kind of messed them up. One, Shaggy had to face his fear of being not liked. Fred, he sort of faced his fear of getting a job. Velma, the fear of being forgotten. And Daphne, I can't remember what Daphne was. I think she was supposed to be not being popular or in a relationship or something like that, because it's sort of hard to really get focused, because it did kind of bore me a little bit. Let's be honest here. But besides that, I have to admit, the twist of all this, who basically kind of started the sort of myth of the Black Knight, it was actually the librarian who, get this, wanted to kill every single teenager because they kind of becoming too sexy. Why you ruin Halloween? And that just sort of kind of weird, a very weird motivation for your villain to use sort of the Black Knight myth to scare kids to stop being sexy to warn them. But on top of all this, the Black Knight was sort of kind of friends with Velma's parents, and the reason why they created the not yet not really sexy Halloween prom night to make kids to stop going of the sexy cemetery costumes, so that nobody can actually get hurt. It's almost was that they were guilted to create this sort of kind of Halloween kind of area be safe for kids because they're the ones sort of accidentally killed the kid of that horrific moment of night. And that's basically what happened. They each one of them figuring out what connected to what, especially of the librarian who figured out how to basically raise the dead. But during this time, Velma realized the only way to defeat this sort of horrific curse is sort of self-sacrifice herself to take down the librarian with her so they could cross over and stop the curse. It did work. In fact, this is the point that I was so surprised that God left this as a cliffhanger that sending Velma to heaven, this case to hell because the librarian was evil and both of them dragged straight to hell afterwards. And the whole episode ended there. For at least a few seconds do you realize she was awoken back to her regular body alive. And she doesn't understand it. And the whole show ended and returned back a few seconds after credit scenes showing Frey is the one who kind of real connect Velma's body back to her soul because he is cursed by the book. And that's how the whole thing ended. And on top of this, the celebrity date shows is Sweetie, if I'm correct. I'm not in the end of the most popular artist right now. I'm been out of the music kind of listening for a little bit, so I don't know that's her official name. But she's sort of the famous celebrity they bring for this sort of special. And she doesn't really do anything. She was there just to basically get more viewers nowadays because her stick, why she there is because she was guilty to go to this sort of Halloween sexy party to help Velma and to promote her song. And she kind of hired Fred to be her bodyguard, but she's not sure if Fred would do it. And that's it. Sweetie didn't do much. She doesn't it to be funny, but the material they give her was sort of subpar now, where it's just like, I guess this is fine. Now, anything else, that's basically what happens of the whole episode. It was sort of interesting how each character faced their fears so they could help them cross over back to reality. But all of that, the only thing I can actually think of positively is the art because they have moments. It was pretty good looking. Like they have the how Velma is sort of a ghost, how detached he was or she was. Also the Black Knight, the magic. If a little thing here or there was really plush of the animation. Everything else just kind of sucked. I mean, improved, but I said at the very beginning, I don't know, I left it here because I edited it a couple of times, that her comedy slightly improved, but every time they made a good, decent joke, they kind of ruin it being sort of mean spirited. They don't give it time to really sick in of the good joke they made. They just automatically cut it off. It almost felt they were doubting themselves that was a good joke or not, and they added another extra thing just to make it more better. But in making it more better, they just ruined the joke, and that's sort of the issue. All of this, I'm just sort of surprised they ended that ending twist that Fred is possessed. We don't know what's gonna happen next. But the only problem is, I do not care. That's the issue. And yeah, it's one of those things that I do not recommend watch this special. Only if you're a completionist that you need to finish this because It's now habit to you to finish everything. Yeah, good luck with that. This was kind of hard to watch, at least some instances. But at the end, it was eh. That's the best way to describe it. I don't know you. You've seen it. Do you kind of hate it even more, or you thought it just sort of a mediocre ending because it sort of left off with a cliffhanger once again? Because I'm sort of surprised it just left it another cliffhanger, hoping they get a season three. And I was like, why? Like I know they wrote this before everything went down. This was sort of before the controversy, understanding what was Velma really is about. And they just left it as a cliffhanger instead of giving sort of a decent ending or anything. Because we don't know what this magic book can do or what. The only thing we know is sort of cursed, and that's it. And we don't know what's gonna happen to Fred. The only thing we know about Fred, he was sort of now kind of poor, figuring out how to do a job, being a regular person. He's basically the most kind of interesting character of all the cast. But other than that, I can't really say much. I don't know you seen it? Do you care? You don't care? Tell me down below. Let me know. I got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.